As you know, the National Party has come out with what looks like a wildly popular and populist policy. We will all be aware that there have been many changes to speed limits around the country. To some of us, in a random way, 100k zones have become 80k zones or 70k zones, and it changes. And my GPS doesn't match what the speed limit is on the piece of state highway I'm driving. And 30k's round Oriental Bay and Wellington, and it has all changed. And it has angered many of us, and the National Party says they're going to change it back. They're going to raise the speed limits again, maybe past 100k. It's a wildly popular move in the middle of an election campaign. But how well thought out is it? And will it cost lives? Will it improve our efficiency? What does it mean? I think one of the best guys I ever talked to about issues with roading and driving is driving legend, motorsport legend Greg Murphy. Joins us on the line now. How are you, Greg?
Good morning, mate. No problem holding off on this subject, mate.
All right. Well, it's a big...
Sit in line.
Look, in a political context, it's a hell of a smart move. People just love it because being told that you're being given more freedom on the road is just a winner, a vote winner. Is it a good idea, Greg, just in broad terms first, what the National Party are proposing in general terms?
Well, I don't think it's just a run in there and just change everything just for the sake of it. I think it's actually based on the fact that a lot of the stuff that has been done, I don't believe has been well thought out, and it's been done purely because we are out of control as far as what's happening on our roads, death toll, injury toll, and everything it hasn't been reduced under Road to Zero and the way that the current regime has been running things. So I think there's and I would look at a whole lot of stuff that was changed, some of it unnecessarily, some of it needs to be looked at because the speed in some areas, depending on where you are around schools or built up areas, yes, there needs to be a look at some of the stuff. But there's been a real push at Wakatahi at the moment under Road to Zero to look at way too much and change a lot more than needs to be. I think what Simeon Brown's talking about is revisiting a lot of stuff, looking at some of the areas that have had a draconian approach and focus on speed. That some of it needs to be re-looked at and changed back.
So, Greg, and I guess it's interesting, isn't it? The Road to Zero, someone set this kind of ideological goal in Wakatahi, and it's a bit like climate change, the 2014 Declaration of Paris. You set the goal, and that means that everything you do to reach that goal, even if it's a bit stupid, is justified by the ideological target, right?
Yeah, exactly right. And it was a stupid, unachievable kind of goal in the first place. Some of the numbers, and they were never going to get anywhere near it, Sean, because they still weren't focused on the area that needed the most attention, which was drivers. You are not going to stop people from crashing if you don't look to improve the reason in the first place, which is the nut behind the wheel. The focus on technology, the focus on
roads,
cars, on barriers. Well, not enough focus on roads in many cases, but putting in barriers in places and putting barriers in some places but not in others, which clearly if you're going to put one there, then there should be one there, but there isn't. And just a real mishmash of ideas, but still the key and the crux of it all is we haven't done anything about improving the skills and awareness of the nuts behind the wheel. And the nuts behind the wheel are getting worse. We've got more people without licences driving. We've got more people that are just getting the absolute base level of not even training, but the base level required to get a licence. Unfortunately, currently, it's believed that if you have a licence, you are
suddenly a great driver. You are suddenly Liam Lawson.
And you are not. The base level of getting a licence in this country and becoming legal is not safe. It is just purely as simple as that. So, changing speeds here and there and willy-nilly and putting barriers down the middle of State Highway 2 between Marston and Featherston and making it 80 k's an hour, but leaving a whole lot of areas that are still potentially things that people can crash into and hit and make mistakes and all these kinds of stuff, and spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, you're still going to have people crashing, and you're still going to have people distracted and making mistakes and doing the wrong thing because they don't know.
Yeah.
So we've got to change that, go off on a different level, and so increasing speeds back in some areas for people that are competent, that are focused and driving. We're not going to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to have an effect on more deaths on the road.
As I said yesterday, a speed limit is not a target, and we should always drive to the conditions, and that doesn't.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
It means weather, it means road conditions, it means traffic conditions, it means light conditions, it means everything in the environment that you're driving that you should take into account when you're driving, and the condition of you, how tired you are. Where maybe you're at emotionally, and your vehicle
as well.
Yeah,
and people don't know or understand things about their vehicles, and it's because we don't prepare them and give them the information through the process of getting your driver's license to make people, and we don't recheck people. We're not rechecking people. You're not having to go and do a competency check every 5 or 10 years, which you should be doing. The system is not working. It doesn't work. It needs a complete rebuild, along with a whole lot of other things in the transport.